While many of us look to be active all summer long, it's so important to prepare for any type of physical activity in the summer heat. With more on how you can enjoy the summer while staying safe is Dr. Douglas Casa and Chris Valletta. Both, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
So, Dr. Casa, let's start with you first. Why is it important to be prepared when planning to be outside in extreme heat?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, when you exercise in the heat, your body temperature rises faster than it normally would, and if it does too much rising, you can put yourself at risk for exertional heat stroke, which is one of the three leading causes of death for athletes and one of the leading causes of death for laborers in America. So we need to make sure that people are implementing really common sense, simple solutions to stay safe in the heat. Things like hydration, cooling strategies to cool themselves during activity and during breaks, having more rest breaks and longer rest breaks, and in phasing in activity across time in the first week or two, because most heat problems happen in the first few days of heat exposure.
That's right. And Chris, you are a former NFL player. You played in some really hot cities. So why was it important for you to create a wearable cooling gear?
Well, certainly for athletes, they look for every performance edge they can possibly find, whether that's nutrition or strength training, or in our case, cooling. The heat just decimated my ability to play and to think clearly and to have sustained performance at a high level over the course of a game or a practice. And so we knew that, because the science proved it, that if an athlete could actually be cooler throughout the course of their activity, they would obviously be more comfortable, they would drastically improve their safety, but they would also improve their performance. And so we started Mission with that premise. Let's make products that can work and stand up to the most, elite athletes in the world, and then bring those products to the masses, through certainly retail distribution, but also bring them to workers, the over 30 million workers in the United States that work in hot environments, that have to adapt to these conditions, and to bring these solutions with the backing of our partners at the Corey Stringer Institute and Dr. Casa. So a real ecosystem of cooling solutions, wearable cooling solutions that are very simple for employees to use, but have a big impact.
And doctor, if you're planning on exercising or working in extreme heat, what are some tips for staying safe and hydrated?
Yeah, so from a hydration perspective, have cold fluid readily accessible. Don't wait for breaks or lunchtime to have fluids. Drink throughout the day when you're thirsty. Have it really accessible. Another is the cooling strategies. Have shade available when possible, during work or during breaks. Have cold, wet towels available during breaks. Have cold textiles on your body or clothing if possible, like hats, arm sleeves, shirts, things like that. And then the big thing is breaks. When it's hot out, we need to have more breaks that are longer, because we need time for our body temperature to go back down, and we need more time to drink because we're sweating out more fluid than usual. We need to also just listen to our body. If we're not feeling well or not doing as well as usual, to back off on intensity a little bit and take some breaks, so that we can try to catch a problem before it becomes serious.
And Chris, how are companies like UPS, for example, better preparing workers who may have to work in that extreme heat?
Well, UPS has certainly recognized that staying cool in the heat is an unlock to, more comfort, certainly better safety, and improved efficiency and productivity of their workforce, so that workers don't need to be in the elements any longer than they have to. And I think the great thing about what UPS is doing is they're really creating the blueprint for companies across the United States. And that blueprint is the not silver bullet strategy. There is no one singular solution, but there's a comprehensive suite of solutions. What physically goes on the body, what the workers are wearing, that is what Mission, what our company does. Hats, cooling arm sleeves, cooling shirts. Dr. Casa mentioned a few of them. But it's what's behind that mission, in our partnership with the Corey Stringer Institute and Dr. Casa, really informing the science, the research, giving us the tools from a knowledge standpoint to bring in this ecosystem. And that is what UPS has recognized, is that we can surround the workforce with a heat safety ecosystem that includes everything from education and awareness to physical product solutions to ongoing research. And I think that is the model for the future. And we've already seen companies, major airlines, manufacturing facilities, oil and gas, steel mills, we've seen these companies already come into the fold and start to access some of these solutions because it's getting hotter. It's not going to go away. And companies realize the work still has to get done, but it can get done safely and it can get done more efficiently. And that's what this is all about.
Well, this has been some great information, so I'm sure people want to learn some more, tips on how to stay cool this summer and of course to buy some of that mission gear. So where can people learn more?
So from my perspective, it would be ksi.uconn.edu. UConn is UCONN. That's the website of the Corey Stringer Institute, where there's just a ton of information available for preventing, recognizing, and treating heat illnesses so that people can work to stay safe during these summer months.
And for Mission, it's mission.com, which is where certainly you can learn about the product portfolio, but also about our relationship with the Corey Stringer Institute, where we've got the Mission Heat Lab on site. It's where we get to test products and conduct research to better inform the next generation of solutions to keep workers and non-workers alike cooler, more comfortable, safer, and certainly more productive in the heat.
All right. Thank you both so much for coming on today.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.